Now we see about the topic is barriers to trade and tariff and non-tariff barriers and trade policy instruments. First we see about the trade barriers. Restrict import or export of goods and services into the between the countries. Barriers include tariff and non-tariff barriers. These are the list of the barriers under the trade barriers. Barriers are two types, tariff and non-tariff. In tariff barriers, export tariff, import tariff and transit tariff. Non-tariff, quotas, others and subsidies. In others, the barriers are local content, product and testing, control on currency, embargoes, delay in administrative works. Next, tariff barriers. Rules, foreign trade and policy that taxes foreign products to encourage or safeguard domestic industry. Next, non-tariff barriers or non-tariff measures. Restrict import or export of the goods or services through the mechanism other than the simple imposition of a tariffs. Other than tariffs is known as non-tariff barriers. Then trade policy instruments. These are the list of instruments used in the trade barriers. First one, tariff, subsidies, import quotas, voluntary export restraints, local content requirements, administrative policies, anti-dumping duties. Then moving to the import license. The license is against the another country's goods in order to protect the domestic industry from the foreign competition or a country. Next, import quota. Set of physical limit on the quantity of the goods given period of the time. Next, subsidy or a government intensive. Financial support extended to an economic sector. It may be direct or indirect. Next one, voluntary export restraints, VER. Quota on the trade imposed by the exporting country, typically at the request of the importing country's government. It is also known as export bias. Next, moving to the economic sanctions, not necessarily imposed because of the economic circumstance. These are two types, devaluation and revaluation. Devaluation means lowering of a country's currency. It means lowering one country's currency compared to other countries. Revaluation making the domestic currency more expensive than the other countries. And trade restrictions means it's the artificial restriction on the trade of goods and services between the two or more countries. Byproduct protectionism. Then ad valorem, percentage of value of the product being imported into the country from the one country. Price of commodity decreases, tariff applied so also decreases. Next, moving to the specific tariff and revenue tariff. First one, specific tariff. Specific amount of money that imposed on a specific quantity of product. The price of commodity decreases, that does not affect the tariff. No change in the tariff. Next one, revenue tariff, to generate some revenue for the country. And the prohibitive tariff, it is imposed in the restricted country to prohibit some of the specific product. Productive tariff means one country product the country from the other country to import the unnecessary or specifically producted to industries from the foreign influences. Environmental tariff imposed on the imports and exports to the countries which have the substandard environmental controls, also known as green tariff or the eco tariff. Upon the retaliatory tariff based upon revenge. Sometimes countries use these options to influence the tariff imposed by another countries. Thank you.